Okay, so today's visit we're going to be talking about the liver. The primary function of the liver is detoxification of the blood. So the blood all filters through the liver and the liver pulls out all these toxins. Things that can stress the liver, things like medication use, alcohol use, poor diet, a lot of environmental toxins. The other thing that the liver does that a lot of people don't know about is it's also involved in fat metabolism. So if you have poor liver function, your body's going to have a hard time metabolizing fat and can make losing weight a little more difficult. And also the liver is involved in blood sugar regulation. The liver stores what's called glucagon, and when your blood sugar drops too low, the liver releases this glucagon, which converts into glucose in the blood and helps give a little boost on blood sugar. So there's a lot of effects that the liver can have on the body. It can also have issues with processing iron, processing vitamin B12, and lead to anemias. So we have a lot of markers that we look at for liver function. So the blood comes through the liver filters out the liver forms bile, which has been passed on to the gallbladder. The gallbladder then squeezes that bile into the digestive tract when food, especially foods that contain fat, are exiting the stomach in the presence of hydrochloric acid. And then that bile helps to break down the fatty component of the food. Now here's one of the problems. If we found that you have decreased hydrochloric acid, what can happen is if there's decreased hydrochloric acid, when the food exits the stomach, the gallbladder won't be signaled to secrete that bile as much as it should, so the bile can actually become static in the gallbladder. That's one of the ways that bile stones can form. Now, probably 1 out of every 4 patients that we see in our office no longer has their gallbladder. So if that's you, then we probably got you on bile salts. And what that means is, if you don't have the gallbladder anymore, then the liver, when it produces the bile just trickles into the digestive tract. Okay, it doesn't get squeezed in high doses. So when you eat foods, especially fatty containing foods, that trickle isn't enough to break down the food. So that can lead to gas, bloating, issues like that. It can also lead to malabsorption of fatty nutrients. So your vitamin A, D, E, and K, if you're taking omega-3 fatty acids, those won't break down properly. It can have a lot of effects. So if you don't have your gallbladder, or if you know anybody who does not have a gallbladder, you will be on Cholacol. This is a bile salt, and it's going to help to replace that lack of the influx of bile from the gallbladder. All right, so Cholacol is to help the digestive tract if there is no gallbladder. Now, for liver support itself, we use several different things. It depends on what pathway we're trying to support. We use a supplement called Cruciferous Complete, which is basically kale and Brussels sprouts, but it's high doses of these foods that help to detoxify the liver. We use Hepatidin. We use Hepatrophin PMG. We use Liviplex. We use Livco. Okay, there's a couple of supplements that are slipping my mind right now, but these are the main liver supplements that we'll use to support that liver detox pathway and to support the liver overall function. For the gallbladder, we use AF beta food. We use Bilivin, and we use Cholacol. Now these are for gallbladder support, and which supplements you're going to be put on is based on your case specifically, food sensitivity, so on and so forth. So this is the approach that we're taking. We've got to support this liver detox pathway. Most of the time you're going to be on your liver supplements for anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. Some patients have to go a little bit longer, but it's not a long-term supplement unless you have a chronic liver condition. But primarily we're just there to support the liver, get it back up to optimal function so that the body can restore its optimal function. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask your health coach, and I hope this makes sense.